Hello, everyone. Andy Jacob here with the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. I have a great show today. You know, so many people reach out to me and they say, Andy, what technology, what companies, what is available to make my life better? What's available to me as a businessman to give me some work-life balance? What type of products or services are out in the digital landscape, in the digital universe, that I can sort of bring into my business, into my world to make what I do that much better and that much more efficient? So we went through the Rolodex, of course, and we've been able to invite a real leader, Mr. Jason Nunez, and he is the founder and CEO of Digital Hero. And he has such a remarkable company. We're going to get into his entrepreneurial journey in just a little bit. But Jason, before we get into it, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Andy. Glad to be here.
Okay, Jason. So let's cut it down. Let's break it down. Let's take it to 30,000 feet, because when I think of Digital Hero, I think of virtual personal assistants. I mean, that's the bread and butter. That's how you help people achieve a better work-life balance. But let's pull the lens back to 30,000 feet to start the show, Jason, and tell us all about what you're doing at Digital Hero.
Thank you, Andy. Andy, Digital Hero is my life, my passion. So with 18 years of experience, military, government contracting, private sector, I took all those skills, all those talents, all those temperaments, all that training, and really applied my experience to what folks need. And bottom line, across all branches of work, all different fields, all different industries, folks sometimes are consumed by work and don't have that balance with their home life or with their personal life. So we just aim to provide work-life balance. Work-life balance reimagined.
I love it. Work-life balance reimagined. That should be the name of your new book that's coming out, Jason. I love that so much. And of course, you're a veteran-owned business. You and your husband started this business to help others. And let's talk about it a little bit. When somebody reaches out to you, they've heard about Digital Hero. They're reading the testimonials. People are talking about it online. They're seeing what you're doing on social, and they reach out to you, Jason. What's that first conversation look like or sound like? And what are they looking for that you can provide them?
Great question. So when we get on that first phone call, I am a very affective person. So I do recognize body language. I do recognize tone, pitch. So I give them the spiel about Digital Hero. I very much highlight our chief marketing officer because I think our fur baby gets more attention than we do. So as I say, what is it that prohibits you from spending time with the family? What stops you from being able to get home to make dinner at night? What stops you from going to the soccer game Saturday morning? That is what I want to take care of for you so that you can go do what matters, so that you can go to those events that are memorable. So they'll go on and they're like, oh, well, I don't know, because a lot of folks don't know how to let go. A lot of folks, I've always done it. I've always managed my own calendar. I've always checked my own emails. Oh, I spend the weekends clearing out emails. Well, that's what I want to do for you. Give me your emails. Give me your travel. Let me take care of that. You just go and execute.
I love it. And it's so needed. So many people get bogged down on things that somebody else with a talent for could come in and help them with. And that's what you do. You help these people with the Digital Hero platform to get a personal assistance to help them achieve just a better way of doing things. And I love that so much. And of course, you work with C-suite executives, startups, nonprofits. You work with boards of directors, busy professionals, working parents, and the like. What's the number one thing, Jason, that people come to you and they say, hey, Jason, I've heard about Digital. I need your help. What's the number one thing that you can help them with right now?
The most common and mostly the first comment that we do get on the call, my inbox is driving me crazy. So inbox management is something that we are very busy doing for our clients. Inbox management, you sign up, you send flowers to mom for birthday. guess what? You're going to start getting all those newsletters from that flower company. You sign up for subscriptions for different seminars that you've gone to. You're going to start getting all those feedbacks, all those events. And the one thing is that your emails can easily accumulate. And then when you see that little red dot, and sometimes it even has a number, that causes anxiety. So one of the things, our primary thing that we do, a lot of inbox management.
Yeah, that's awesome. And of course, that's so needed. So Jason, when somebody reaches out to the company, how do you connect them with their hero? How do you connect them with their digital virtual assistant hero? Who do they get assigned to? Where are these people located and the like?
Great question. So what I do is I do the intake. So I listen to see what their needs are. What is it that would be the best fit for you personally, time zone wise? And my heroes are spread out: Pacific Coast time, Oregon, Washington State. I have some heroes in New Jersey, North Carolina, and some here in Florida. And really, it is, what is it that will help you manage not only the time, but also the task? And what's that personality look like? Some of my heroes are extremely creative types. They're very social media lending. So I'll pair you up if that's what you need. Social media management. Maybe you need to answer all those Twitter followers. Maybe you need to answer those YouTube video posts and the like. But maybe you also need research. So I have some digital heroes who are very keen on research and data entry. And if that's what you need, I will get you the best person to do those type of projects.
Yeah, I love it, Jason. Of course, the thing that stood out when you mentioned where your heroes are located is that the majority of them, or all of them, are in the United States. Is that one of the differentiators between what you offer at Go Digital Hero and some of the other companies that are in your space right now?
Absolutely. So Go Digital Hero is a service disabled, veteran owned, minority owned, LGBT certified business enterprise that operates within the continental United States. You will not find my heroes anywhere outside of the United States of America.
Wow, that's so powerful, Jason. Of course, with your background in the military and everything that you've done throughout the years, you must attract a lot of people, from the military that say, hey, we've heard about what you're doing. Maybe I could sign up for a hero or to be a hero. I mean, that must be very rewarding in your business, Jason, to be able to employ, ex-military people as well. Is that part of the idea?
That is the part of the idea, Andy. And one of the programs that we do participate, Go Digital Hero, is becoming a member of the Skill Bridge program that allows military members 180 days to remain on active duty and transition to a civilian employer. So those 180 days, the employer basically benefits from free labor, but it's that experience that military members bring to the table that will help us as small businesses. The military will continue to pay housing, they will continue to pay food, they'll continue to pay a salary up to 180 days prior to their retirement or separation.
I love it. It's such a great program. I mean, I had not even heard about that program until you mentioned it. What a great way to teach them something that they can gain insight from and gain a valuable experience from, so that when they get out of the military, then they can move forward with these skills that they've learned. And of course, at Go Digital Hero, you're going to teach them a lot of skills that they can take out and, ultimately either, latch onto your company full time or spread their wings a little bit. It's really, really awesome. Now, when we think about digital assistants, we think sometimes about call center mentality. Do you also offer something where if I'm really busy and I can't get to all my calls or all my online leads, that your heroes will help with that as well?
Absolutely. So that is also anything that's time consuming. And that tends to be the focus of it. If you're in the middle of a meeting, you're missing 4 to 5 leads, unless you have a digital hero that can tend to those emails and those posts and get back to them, because time is of the essence. And the first one who responds gets the prize. And if you're busy, which you should be, let your digital hero take care of those administrative tasks to get you to continue to be busy with proper work-life balance.
I love it so much, Jason. Of course, for the people watching this show rewind what Jason just said, because he gave some clues on branding. And a lot of people talk about branding, but if you notice something very slick here and something very interesting, very, very smart, Jason, by the way, is that he talks about the digital heroes in a way that's meaningful. And he talks about your digital hero. And he always inserts the digital hero brand into his vernacular and the way in which he's talking about things. And from the standpoint of branding as an entrepreneurial discussion, that's a great way to go when you can incorporate the name of your brand into what you do. And digital hero just resonates for me because that's what we all need. We need somebody to step in and be a hero to us so that we then can go to the soccer game and be a hero to our kids, or, be a hero to our, our partner, or be a hero to our friends and relatives, coworkers, whatever it is. The hero name really, really stands out. Now, Jason, let me ask you this question. You were in the military. Here you are, you're a successful entrepreneur. You're building this great brand, Go Digital Hero. What lessons were you able to bring from the military over to Go Digital Hero that's going to resonate for our audience? What did you learn in the military on how to be an entrepreneur when you got out of the military?
Yeah, so I'm going to start this story out. And if anyone has been in the military or has gone through basic training, at least Air Force basic training, they'll relate. Taking my socks and folding them into 3. Taking my shirt and making sure all the edges are lined up and folded in a perfect square. It's not really important, the sock or the shirt, but it's attention to detail and being organized and being creative and having that initiative to go that extra step to make sure that whatever task is given, there's a way to remedy it. If it happened, you can get out of it. So I took a lot of that from the military and created the brand, created Go Digital Hero, because it's hard enough to some folks actually working with someone that sits outside of their office as an in-person assistant. It's very easy to go outside. Hey, can you file this receipt? Hey, can you check this email? Can you fax this? But working with someone you don't see, that you can't go physically touch, there's a level of trust there and a level of organization and attention to detail that my heroes have to meet you where you're at. Because if we don't have your trust, we won't be as effective as we need to be for you.
Yeah, I love it. And of course, you founded the company with Jacob Bennett. When you get together, when you're together and you're thinking about business, how much of your time is spent sort of diving into the Go Digital Hero brand and, what's going to happen in the future? And are you always talking about business, or, do you have some time where you're not talking about business? I'm very curious about sort of the interaction, with a partnership where you're in business together. What does that feel like? What does that, how does that resonate for you and Jacob being co-founders of the business?
Yes. So Jacob and I do talk business, but we have a weekly founders meeting, and we consolidated to that time because it's one thing to preach work-life balance and one thing to emulate it. And if we're trying to get work-life balance for everyone else, we have to indeed have work-life balance ourselves. So yes, we do talk business. There will be times where we're walking out and we'll overhear a conversation about, oh, I'm so busy, or I have to do this, I have to do that. And we might insert ourselves into, hey, have you heard of Go Digital Hero? Let me take care of that for you so that you can go do what you need. So founders meetings are important because it keeps us aligned, but it does not interfere with our work-life balance.
Yeah, I love that. That's a great way to go. And there's a lot to learn there for our entrepreneurs watching the show. Sometimes to carve out that time where you can just focus in is so important. And of course, during the rest of the time, you're always sort of in it. You meet someone and it resonates for you that maybe you can help them. You give them a card or give them your number. And of course, you're always selling ABC, always be closing, of course, all the time to help the company. Now, Jason, we have a lot of younger entrepreneurs watch this show, and sometimes they hit a roadblock. Sometimes they freak out in the lens, they freeze in the frame. Sometimes they hit a wall they can't get over. Maybe based on your experience at the military and of course, building Go Digital Hero, you can give some some thoughts and some ideas to the younger entrepreneurs watching the show who are maybe having a tough time, what to do when they hit a roadblock and how to come out the other end as positive as before?
So the one thing that I would definitely contribute to those who have reached that point is, one, don't give up, but two, you're not alone. Folks out there are willing to help. Reach out, ask. You don't have to do anything yourself. It is your brand, it is your company, it's your entrepreneurship, your idea, but bounce it off of other people who have a tad more wisdom than we do.
Yeah, that's great advice. Very succinctly said. And again, that is really almost a mini Harvard MBA that you just gave there, Jason. I mean, people can go through an entire, seminar or an entire classroom or an entire semester just to learn what you just put together in a very succinct way. And I can see now, just by that answer, Jason, how you're able to sort of formulate exactly what your customers need and put it in a sort of a nice, neat package for them. Let's talk about your team. Let's talk about the heroes. What's the thing that you look for when somebody comes to you and says, I want to be a hero? What's the one thing that, has to hit home for you in order to hire somebody on as a hero?
Passion. I'm not looking at degrees. I'm not looking at experience. I'm not looking at your desire to become a millionaire. I just need to know that you have a pulse and a passion. And I hope and I will train you to grow with us, because there's so many job opportunities out there with limiting factors that I want to be one where if you want to become a virtual assistant, if you want to become a digital hero, come on board and I will train you to become one.
I love it. And of course, you just hit on something that just resonates for me. I need to write it down after the interview because I loved it so much. You said, as long as there's a pulse and a passion. And I can also see that being the second book that you're going to write, the pulse and the passion, from Jason Nunez, because that's great. I mean, I've never heard it said like that before, but that makes sense. If they're alive and they have a passion and they want to improve every single day. And of course, you probably want to know and make sure that they're willing to be able to take advice. They're willing to learn, right? Because I would imagine your people need to learn constantly. Is that the idea?
That is. So what we do is we bring them on in phases. So the digital hero comes in and they become my personal assistant. More so how to relate in a virtual environment, how to organize and prioritize your time to complete tasks. Then we upgrade them to working for our team internally to see, how do you operate with multiple leads? How do you operate with multiple emails coming in, juggling priorities? After that, we start working them to their own client. And at that point, we make the introduction and the relationship is built from there.
Yeah, I love it so much. And there's people watching the show. And when it comes to email, we're all very protective about our email. And we're worried about giving out, our email to somebody else to sort of manage for us. How do you sort of navigate that question where people are saying, I don't want to give my email out to anybody? And how do you sort of walk them through that so that they understand that a Go Digital Hero having access is an important thing for them to do?
So besides the legalese of creating business associate agreements and non-disclosure agreements, what we try to do is get them to want and buy into Go Digital Hero, not necessarily buying into Jacob or not buying into Jason or not buying into Atlas, Aspen, whoever. We work on a collaborative consumption model. So most of our branding, how we integrate with our clients, is by getting an assistant at or support at whatever that brand is for the end of your company. That way, all you need to remember is one email address and that your hero is at whatever the end of your company is. That way, on our end, the responsibility, the disclosure, the privacy is all taken care of. And the response time is that of within 1 hour from the time that you email. So any of our team could jump in, because what I love to do for my heroes is sometimes I take a day so that they can go to the pool. I take a day so they can go to the beach. So, when I incentivize them they return that work twofold. So collaborative consumption model, you getting a digital hero. You don't get a human, like there's no name. You don't have to try and figure out, oh, well, who did I email this to? Your hero. That's it.
I love it, Jason. Of course, we would be remiss to have this amazing interview. And thank you so much for slicing some time out today. This has been remarkable. I mean, what a great insight into your life, your business and your work-life balance proposal for your clients. And of course, how you bring the heroes on and make a great opportunity for them. But let's talk about the thing that's maybe the 800-pound gorilla in the room right now. And that's sort of the price. So people are going to be saying to themselves, should I hire my own, or what's the value proposition for hiring, a hero? I would imagine that the pricing is a fraction of what a traditional personal assistant would cost someone. Is that correct?
That is correct. So hiring that human that sits outside of your office, you have to buy equipment. You have to pay for parking. You have to buy office space. You have to pay them a salary. You have to pay taxes. And then you have health benefits. And then you have the subsidy. And then you have physically time away from the desk because they have to go to lunch and they have to go to appointments. So when you add all of that up, you can easily end up paying over $100,000 for a human, a personal assistant, administrative assistant. You buy into Digital Hero for packages. So you buy a certain amount of hours because we don't want to waste your time and we want to be most effective with the time that we do have with you and for you. So you buy into different packages that vary on prices and we calculate the time. At the end of the week, we meet, we let you know what we've done, how much time we have left, how much time we spent, and maybe there's a special project that you know is going to take some additional time. You let us know and we'll bucket that time specifically for that project.
It's awesome. What a great way to go with all of this sort of data that comes back to your clients so they understand what's happening. It's full disclosure. I love that so much. And that's one of the reasons why Go Digital Hero is growing at the pace that it is, because it's an open envelope. You want your clients to know what's going on. You want your heroes to know what's going on. You want to give them great data to be able to make great decisions. And you offer all of these things that, Fortune 100 companies would expect. And you're giving them to startups and small to mid-sized companies as well as large companies as well. So Jason, this has been remarkable. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I want to congratulate you and Jacob, of course, for coming on, coming on the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. But for you and Jacob, what you've done with Go Digital Hero, it's remarkable. I'm going to bring you back on the show again, and because I think I want to unwind a little bit what's going on in that mind of yours with regard to customer service, because it sounds like you just had this passion for customer service. You understand it inside and out, and that's one of the reasons why you're able to give not only your clients the world-class service they expect and deserve, but make sure that your heroes are as happy as they possibly can be by leading from the front with your corporate culture. So Jason, this has been remarkable. Thank you so much for coming on the .com Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series today.
Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it.